Welcome back to the Coronavirus Kansas Small Business Survival, a video series. Today's guest is Barry Kingery, co-owner of Express Employment Professionals in Lawrence. Barry, how are you?
I'm doing great, Matt. Thanks.
So Barry, why don't we get right into it? And if you can start by explaining to viewers what you do under normal circumstances before we get into kind of how the crisis is affecting you right now.
Sure thing. Express is a full service staffing company, or what we sometimes refer to as a workforce management company. We help companies find people, we help people find jobs.
One of the new news nuggets. There's new news coming out every day. Some of it from the administration, the Trump administration, and I don't know if it was last night or earlier this morning, but either way, an administration official said that unemployment could hit 20%. Is that what you're hearing among your industry peers? And regardless, what are your thoughts on that?
Honestly, I not even heard any numbers or projections at all. We've been so focused on what's happening here locally that I haven't paid much attention to the national media on this. Um, that's a possibility. I would believe just about any number right now because the pace of change is so quick. We don't really know what's happening or what to even expect. But we're coming from a time of record low unemployment. Locally we've been even in the upper twos to the 3% unemployment mark, which is historically almost unheard of. So we've gone from a time of having way too many jobs, really too many jobs for the number of people who are available, to just literally overnight having that flip flop. And now we have people being laid off and not even sure when or if they're going to go back to work. Um, and so now we have a tremendous number of people who are just unsure about their situation.
In working with you over the years, I know that your company not only does staffing needs and the employment matching, but then also helping with some of the HR function for local companies. Are you helping if a company is laying off staff? Are you helping them on the HR end, connecting employees with unemployment?
We are. That's something that we love to help with. If a company has a temporary need for a layoff, we'd love to try to keep their employees busy on short-term projects until they can go back to their regular full-time position. So we are doing a little bit of that right now. There's It's such a fluid situation. It's kind of hard to know what's coming even the next day. But for anyone who's out there looking for work, or for companies who need to keep their employees close by but just don't have hours for them right now, there's some folks we're trying to help. There's going to be a lot of different options for people. Some employers are going to truly lay off and let their employees take advantage of an unemployment benefit. That's an option. Others are going to go to part-time. They're going to go to maybe a rolling PTO period, let some folks take off a little bit of time here and there and use a reduced workforce. Some are going to try some remote work options. I think the most important thing is all of us as small business owners, we want to keep our employees happy, healthy, and engaged. We want to keep them involved in the business, but we have to look out for their personal well-being as well. We don't want to put anybody in a bad situation, but it's vitally important for us as business owners, as an economy, to keep employment going, to keep people working, keep their income coming in. So any and all options are open right now. Anything that you can do to provide enough work to keep your folks busy, to keep some income coming in, and to keep your business rolling, there's no wrong answers.
This national emergency and this global crisis is obviously first and foremost a health-related issue. What types of healthcare jobs are always in demand versus perhaps being newly created? And then just as a community, we're looking to alleviate the stress that may hit our local hospitals. So I guess the larger question is, what sort of healthcare jobs do you foresee maybe needing some applicants here in the short term?
Sure. Of course, there's always the highly skilled positions. Your doctors and nurses, those folks are always in demand. And with a national crisis like this, that obviously doesn't go away. That's still going to be as critical of a need as any. But the support staff will be even more important. The facility staff, the assistants, the back office staff, medical billing and coding, all those people that feed into the care process are going to be crucial and even more so at a time like this when volume is up. If you go to an extreme where the country ends up opening temporary hospitals or temporary care facilities or things like that, there has to be folks to manage and run and care for those facilities. So now instead of just staffing the existing hospitals and clinics that are out there, you have a multitude of other facilities and locations that need people. So those skill sets are going to be in high demand. Of course, we hope it doesn't come to that. We hope that our infrastructure that we have can manage the epidemic, the pandemic, the way it is. But you just never know. A company like ours doesn't focus on high-end professional healthcare positions, but we do a lot of the lower end and support positions. So we can help maybe direct applicants to available positions, or hopefully we know what's out there and who's going to need the help. So for those types of things, we can certainly help. If there's anyone that's on our end that's been semi-retired for a little while, thinking they want to get back into it, there's going to be plenty of opportunities for them to jump back in at just about any healthcare provider and provide some service.
So here in Lawrence, Kansas, the school just announced that it's effectively canceling the rest of the school year for K through 12. I can imagine schools nationally are doing the same. I know that your job pool, I know that there's a contingency of that in the education field in local schools, jobs being available. How do you think that's going to impact what jobs are available here locally, or what sort of domino effect do you foresee from that announcement?
Well, it's got quite a few different phases to it. Actually, the employees are now out of work. Some of the hourly and even seasonal employees of the schools, paraeducators, food service employees, even maintenance, custodial workers. Some of those folks are going to be out of work for a while. The schools still being open, whether it's virtually or online, whatever version they're going to use going forward, the physical facilities are not open, which means there's a lot of people that used to tend to those facilities that used to be there on site that are now without work. Sure, they hope to go back next fall when the new school year starts again, and everybody wants to get them back to work as soon as possible. But in the meantime, we've got a very, whether it's an extended spring break or an early summer break, however you want to look at it, it's an extended period of time without hours. So those folks are looking for work and a little bit uncertain right now.
Now with the current crisis, are there any new virtual jobs that are opening up, becoming available for people?
I expect that to be one of the biggest initial changes that we see in the market. We've not done a lot of work from home or virtual jobs locally. An occasional position will work out that way. But we're obviously going to see more and more of that. Companies are going to try to shift work remotely. Business still needs to be done. Once people calm down and get back to work, they're going to find out that we may not want to congregate in large groups at this point, and it may not be required for somebody to come into an office to do their job. So we're going to see more and more of that. A lot of companies are still figuring out how to do it. It's obviously been around. It's been an option for a long time, although it hasn't been greatly utilized. But I think we'll see more of that even here in our small market in Lawrence. It's going to be an opportunity for a lot of businesses to grow into. I think at this time, it's a matter of companies learning how to make that transition. Higher level position management positions, certain levels, certain jobs have always been able to do somewhat remotely, and companies will allow a lot of work from home time in that sense. But for some more of the entry level, maybe mid-level positions, companies maybe don't have the infrastructure set up yet to have their employees work remotely. And a lot of us are learning how to manage that process, learning how to make that work for everybody.
Yeah, I can relate to that, as my wife is upstairs watching our 2 and 4-year-old right now so that we can have this video chat. And so what do you see as the impact on the daycare industry right now locally? Obviously, a lot of kids are home, but then you also have the logistical challenge of, do we bring a babysitter, or do we bring a babysitter into our home? Do we entertain other daycare options so that the parents can work? What are you seeing from your end on that piece?
Well, I would say I'm not on the inside of that at all, although I've got several kids at home. My kids are a little bit older and pretty much taking care of themselves, but that's a real issue. With schools closed, younger kids, daycare is not an option. There's not there's not services set up for that number of kids in our community. Um, Yet, if parents are going to be able to go back to work, there has to be something in place. My my guess, what we're going to see is there's a lot of college students right now that are back home. In fact, my daughter's on her way home from college right now. She's going to be home for the rest of the semester, taking online classes. Those kids are going to be free and looking for something to do, and a lot of them are probably going to end up doing some babysitting, and they're going to be taking care of their siblings, but they're also going to go out to the community and take on a few other kids here and there. So I think that's going to be a new avenue that might open up, and honestly, I think that's going to change the employee culture of our community. Quite honestly, it's kids that suddenly, instead of focusing their time on school, now have some free time and are going to have opportunities to go out and earn a living, and they're going to be a little bit entrepreneurial, and they're going to find some things that are going to work, that they can go out and make a few dollars and help somebody else out. It could have a very long lasting effect on the work ethic of our nation, for lack of a better point of view. Yeah, I think the changes could be anywhere from very minor to huge cultural changes.
Very well said. What advice or what sort of pep talk would you give to someone looking for a job right now?
Hang in there is my advice to all of our associates that are looking for work, and for that matter, for the companies who are out there as well. The changes are coming so fast right now. Everyone's just a little bit shell shocked, and we just have to kind of let the dust settle. The pace of change has slowed just a little bit now as we're having this conversation, and we're starting to be able to look a little bit more objectively at things and what we can do and what we need to do. It's going to be a challenge for everybody right now, but for those folks looking for work, hang in there. There's going to be plenty of opportunities, and once we rebound from this, it's going to be a good situation again. We don't know exactly when that's going to be, but for right now, you may have to be a little bit creative. May have to change your perspective or your goals on what you're wanting to do in the immediate future right now. But yeah, stick with it. Don't panic. Everybody, hang in there. We're going to be okay.
There are multiple, I guess, eyes of the storm. It sounds like you're in one of them. So I really appreciate you taking your time out with me today, and hopefully there's someone out there watching this who receives value from our conversation.
I hope so.
Great. Thank you so much, Barry. Have a great day. Good luck with everything on your end.
Thanks, Matt. I appreciate it.